Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? We rewrite the rules. The countdown has begun. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Can you still hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Can you hear me any better now?
Yes. All right. I'm just waiting. I thought you were getting ready to mute me. Can you hear me now? What? Hello. Well, good morning. Wednesday morning, hump day.
It is Humpity Hump Day. Humpity Hump Day. It's the first day to start planning your weekend misadventures. Don't forget to keep enough quarters on hand so you can phone home from a telephone booth should you need one.
Wait. Tell me where there's a phone booth.
Two things, I guess, though, you need to talk with your parents about first. Where is the nearest payphone?
Mm-hmm.
That's one.
Mm-hmm.
And two, you're really probably going to have them show you how payphones actually work, explaining the necessity of having some quarters on hand. Next, get a list of phone booth locations, put them on your cell phone. Oh yeah, that's right. If you need one, your cell phone's probably not going to be working anyway. Won't do you any good. If the cell phone battery goes dead, you lose it. So you can try the GPS in your car. You could put your cell phone locations all around wherever you're going to be, just so you could call.
I have location services in my truck without my phone.
For phone booths?
And no, I mean, I could ask Google to take me to one.
To a phone booth?
Google would probably laugh.
That's about right.
Good luck.
You might have to learn how to enter locations, though. Some of these people.
Let me just while you do that, I'm gonna.
Or you can keep some maps in your car of the areas you travel, complete with payphone locations. Oh yeah, then you'll have to learn how to read a map. Too much work.
All right,
too much work. Okay, so just travel in pairs. Maybe one of your phones will actually work, just in case you need it. What do you think about that? Advice. Does Google have any locations for phone booths?
I asked Google where the nearest phone booth was, according to me.
Is still shaking.
And it says because traditional street payphones are practically extinct, the newest payphones generally refer to the retrofitted community internet kiosks. And of course, we don't have any here locally in Jacksonville, North Carolina. However, traditional payphones have been phased out.
Okay, so in this case, just carry a changing of clothes and a blanket for your car so you can stay warm overnight. Got it?
Some crackers and cheese.
There you go. Square meals.
Yep.
Happy Wednesday. I'm Rayford Brown, and this is Live and Local Real Talk.
And happy Wednesday. I'm Lee Barrows, and this is Live and Local Real Talk.
Did you enjoy your adventures to the far reaches of the 3rd District last night? Except for that?
Well, I didn't go too far. I did go a county over. Went to Duplin last night, and it's quiet and quaint. And and the meetings are in a church.
Was the coffee good?
Just don't start with me. There was a little accident last night, not mine, but I was the recipient of it. Let's just say.
Well, I'm betting you're probably learning more about the hinterlands of eastern North Carolina than you ever knew before, because I know you delivered mail.
Right.
But some of these places, do they have mail boxes anywhere?
Where I went last night was right off of 903, so I wasn't really in any housing. There was no houses, just stores, but gas stations. But
did they have any payphones there?
No payphones, because those are the ones that are right there before you turn off a 903 to go onto 40.
What do you do if there's not a payphone around when you need it?
Well, that's not even a question that you can ask these days. People have phones Cell phones. Who does not have a cell phone? No, you're not touching my phone. You're going to break it. No.
I'm not going to break it.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm just going to look at it.
Uh-huh.
So this has got a battery in it, right?
Yes, it does.
Uh-huh.
But I also have charging units in my truck.
And what happens when you drop it?
Hopefully nothing. Hopefully nothing.
What happens when it gets wet? Everything.
Hopefully not. Well, your phone, a payphone can get hit by a semi. What do you do then?
Hope you're not in the booth.
I know, really. I mean, there's always what if on everything and anything. I mean,
Well, yeah, but you know, cell phones do have life expectancies, and they also have built-in obsolescence, and you just don't know when you go out the next time
Yeah.
whether the gods at the cell phone company that you bought that cell phone from have. You don't know when the time of death is coming.
well, if that was the case, I wouldn't be alone.
You won't.
No.
A lot of you
But
try
you
to
know,
find a
Reverend,
phone booth.
you can have a landline at home. What good does it do when you're traveling?
Well, no, but my radio works.
Right. Radio's fine, but I'm just saying, normally for most people,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have a cell phone and you're traveling, what do?
I use my ham radio.
If you did not have a ham radio,
I'd
Rayford.
stay home
See.
or get a long extension cord.
There's a
What
lot of things you could say, what if?
Interesting stuff are you seeing throughout the district in the way of people, signs, gas stations closing, retail centers closing, anything like that? Any strange stuff that you're running into?
I'm not seeing a lot of small businesses. You don't see a lot of those anymore. You
Mhm.
see mainly just your big retailers. And then when you get into the different towns of the different cities that I've been going to, it's like wall-to-wall drive-throughs.
Mm.
That's all it is wall-to-wall drive-throughs. And other than that, really crazy people, crazy drivers everywhere I go. It's not just Jacksonville, folks.
You know,
Believe me.
every time we see that, we read about, we hear about, we experience situations where a big company has closed its doors or is closing its doors in
right.
an area, right?
Right.
That makes major news.
Not anymore, does it?
But, well, yes, it still makes news because people say, oh my God, what do we do? If you lose one small retail shop, you don't seem to notice that so much unless you
Right.
happen to be the patron. You can lose several of those and people won't notice. But you lose one major store and it impacts a whole lot of people. So therefore,
does.
if you think about it, you're much better off having a lot of small stores, local businesses, lots of local businesses, instead of one major business. Because if the one business goes out, everything is shut down.
Well, let me tell you though, like I say, when I go to different areas, it's it's wall to wall little stores, but it's all food. It's all food chains. You see very little. You see a Walmart. If you have a Walmart, there you go. That's all you need, because
Until it closes down.
until it closes down. But everything else is just wall to wall, food establishments.
You mean like eating places?
Yes.
Okay.
That's all you see.
Drive-through eating
You have-
places.
Yes, you have your grocery store, which is mainly your big store. I have seen a few Piggly Wigglies, but other than that, it's
God,
just
I wish we
mainly
had one in Jacksonville.
Food Line, right, and Walmart, and then all your eating places. And I'm going to make a suggestion to City Council. I think we need to rename Western Boulevard Chicken Boulevard. We have another new chicken eating place going in. We'll just name it Chicken Boulevard. Do you know how many chicken places are on Western?
I can see the offshoot of that.
What would that be?
Chicken Street.
Chicken Street.
No, Chicken Street.
Oh. Would that be like
Yes.
chicken cock? Okay. All right.
Anything comical happened when you were doing all these travels, going to all these back roads? Anything funny happen? Anything you see at some of the locations that's kind of cute, funny?
I don't really think so. I think my GPS, instead of taking me on the main roads, took me back roads to Wilson, North Carolina one time. And it was to a private residence that there was a function at. And I remember I was like, every cross street, there was a four-way stop sign.
Oh, I hate.
And I'm like,
those
what
things.
in the North Carolina DOT,
City-
whatever is
well,
going on here?
City councils do a lot of that too.
But Rayford,
It's disaster waiting to happen.
Well,
it's
not only that-
just confusing to people. I don't care how smart three of the people are at that intersection and know what the laws and rules are. One can mess it up for three or more.
every time I get one, everybody's sitting there going like, who's going to go first?
Well, I feel-
And waving at people, and you go. And I'm like,
I have this desire to reach behind me because I carry a vest.
Yes.
You know, for
And get out
safe-
direct.
safe- They get on direct traffic. Every time I come across one of those, because there will be.
well, there's a lot of country yet still that has not changed over.
Thank
And I
God.
remember I was on some back roads, and when I got out of the truck, I was like, if I hear banjos playing, it is over. I'm going home. It's just
Banjos
beautiful
are
country.
good.
We still have a lot of beautiful areas in our state from, a lot of the places I've been going to. But
Well, coming up in about 20 minutes, we're going to have a conversation with Dr. Rose.
We are.
We had some fine people yesterday we were talking with, and elected officials, and not all elected people are bad, in spite of what some people think. The vast majority of those that we
good people.
send to office are good,
Right.
honest, American, want to help, want to get the job done, they're not the ones that you see on the evening news. Let's just put it that way.
Right. There's so many more.
There are the workers, and then there are the glory hounds.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's
And
that.
that happens in
everything you do,
every
right.
situation, though.
Well, I was on a town hall phone call last night. One of our congressmen had a town hall phone call, and that's where, your number's called, you're on there with him and a bunch of other people, and you can ask questions if you
Uh-oh.
would like.
What time did that call come out?
5:30.
I was in a meeting.
And did
No, it
you?
wasn't.
5:30
I
is
was in a
when it
meeting at
started.
6 o'clock, wasn't I?
Yes.
And I got a call from somebody at 6:05 or 6:10. I had to mute it.
If it was a 202 number, it was probably that right there. But
No, it wasn't that one, but I heard them as I didn't mute it. I was trying to shut it down, and it was somebody saying.
it was a 252 number,
And
right?
if you'll stay on the line, we have. And
Yes, that was
I
it.
couldn't do that.
But it started at 5:30. But anyway, and then it continues for the next few minutes calling people. But the most asked question on that town hall was about Social Security.
Oh, really?
So many people worried about their Social Security.
As we should be.
Yes, that was the most asked question.
And this was a call from Lillington.
Lillington, isn't that where they have a huge prison at?
It wasn't collect, so it wasn't.
Who do you know? Who do you know?
Nobody there.
Somebody getting paroled you need to know about?
No.
I'm going to tell you what, I'm glad you said that. And I was going to mention that yesterday to our congressman when he called in. Between Friday and yesterday morning, I counted over 23 spam calls on my phone.
Yeah.
And if I would block one, they would call right back with a new number, and it kept going. I even got a Google phone call. Because, I have Google on my phone. They called me through Google video call, which I did not answer. And when I went back and looked at the number, it was Jared somebody with Publishers Clearinghouse. Yeah.
Was he standing outside your door trying to get in?
No, I saw no one outside my door. But yeah, it was from Publishers Clearinghouse. And the last time I got
Did you get some money?
the last time I got any kind of a message from Publishers Clearinghouse, they said
We haven't heard from
I had
you in
won
40
money.
years.
I had won money.
$1.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Jared, whatever his name is probably
If they got the big money, they don't call you. They show
somewhere
up
else.
at your door.
Right,
Okay.
right. look, I've not. Does anybody still even deal with Publishers Clearinghouse?
I haven't
That
heard
used to
of
be
it
a
in
big
years.
thing back years and
Oh,
years and
yeah,
years
absolutely.
ago.
Sad news over in Craven County. The driver of a tow truck was
Yeah.
killed yesterday when his truck left the road, struck a cable, and overturned. 49-year-old Tracy Perry of Bailey, North Carolina, which I've never heard of that one. He died in the crash. He was driving what is known as a rollback tow truck on Highway 70 near Havelock. Happened about noon. When he ran partially off the road into the median, the truck rolled over onto its roof once it hit one of those safety guard cables, and it landed on its roof. No other vehicles were involved. He was pronounced dead at the scene. That's a tough one there.
That's very sad. Very.
I'm probably not running much of any speed coming right out of Havelock on Highway 70. I mean, you don't really have time to do much, and it doesn't say whether he had the vehicle on the back. You know, the rollbacks are where they roll it back and you pull the vehicle.
Yeah, I'm
forward.
very familiar with those. Yes,
So,
yes.
I just
Thank goodness I've never been on one. Yeah.
What? That's a shame.
Well,
Sorry
you
about
know,
that.
you were talking about me traveling around. I was in Dublin last night. Tomorrow night I had to go to Sampson. And there's a story that just came out from WCTI about law enforcement agencies investigating a series of shootings in occupied homes across Dublin and Sampson counties. They say they've seized multiple firearms and identified numerous suspects, but the investigations continue.
Identified or jailed
They said
or
identified.
beaten them severely.
They say the shootings have occurred in recent months in and around Beulaville, Warsaw, Magnolia, Wallace, and Kenansville, and parts of Sampson County.
Well,
That's where I'll be all this
Is
week.
this a thing?
Oh my gosh!
Riding around shooting people in their yards while they're mowing the lawn, shooting houses up. Is this a trend?
Please don't let me forget to make
Carry
sure I
history.
have what I need
Yeah, do
when
that.
I go tomorrow night because
Yeah,
I have a habit of forgetting, which is crazy. But you know, I talked to the sheriff of Sampson County a couple of months ago, right after they had a shooting in Sampson County, and a lady was killed, and he said it was gang related. It was kids. Well, they weren't aiming at her. They weren't going for her. They shot into the mobile home where she resides, thinking her grandson was there, and she got killed as a result of that. And I'm like, whoa, I'm leaving.
That's
Bye.
typical gang style. They're
Right.
a bunch of chicken-livered excuses for human beings that the only thing they can do is hide, shoot, and run. They're not good shots. They spray and pray. They fire a lot of bullets, and they hit a lot of little kids, little children.
Yeah.
And this happens in Chicago weekend after weekend after weekend.
Right.
And I'm sorry, Chicago, you got no grounds talking bad about anybody outside Chicago when you clean up your own mess.
What is it though, that this is the norm anymore? It said the sheriff's office said investigators have identified numerous suspects, including some juveniles.
Beat them.
Wow.
Just beat them. What do they do? Ride along with the gangbangers?
I don't know, but they said they have seized ammunition, magazines, cell phones, and other electronic
Any
devices
guns?
and firearms.
Good.
Electro seizure of a firearm.
A firearm.
Firearm.
No.
But they said they executed multiple search and arrest warrants in the Magnolia and Wallace areas, seizing additional firearms, ammunition, and cell phones. Well, are they seizing the people who have them? Are they arresting the people? I'm sure.
They're still in the trunk of the car, hopefully.
Oh my gosh.
Leave them there.
This is crazy. When we're talking about small towns like Wallace and Sampson and these areas
we
like
are
that.
better than this, folks.
We
this
are
is
better
North
than
Carolina.
this.
This is not Chicago.
This is a quaint, yes. I mean, wow.
This is where the idea of a prank is to go get yourself a paper bag full of poop and light it and put it on fire on somebody's porch.
Yes, those were the days.
That is viciousness as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Or call a couple taxi cabs to somebody's house at the same time. Not that I ever did that, but
Today's weather is brought to you by Mother Nature. If you like what you're getting, give thanks. If you don't like it, take it up with the man upstairs. Or you could contact your favorite meteorologist on your favorite TV station, complain to him about the weather. Let me know how it works out for you. Today, offshore, the gusty winds we've been enduring are going to calm a bit, as will the seas. Looking at conditions out to 20 nautical miles today, we'll see swells 2 to 4 footers. With easterly winds of about 5 knots. Tomorrow, Thursday, light southwesterly winds about 5 knots. That's a breeze. That's not a wind. Seas running 2 to 3 feet. Those are ripples for the ripple riders out there.
Mhm.
Friday, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 10 to 15 and 10 to, back that up. Friday, did you hear that?
Friday.
Southwesterly winds 10 to 15, increasing to 15 to 20. In the afternoon, seas 2 to 4 feet. That was my take 2.
On land. Today, sunny with a high near 95. Heat index values as high as 100. Light and variable wind. Tonight, clear with a low around 72. Thursday, sunny and hot with a high near 97. But the heat index values will be as high as 109. Friday, sunny and hot with a high near 97. Hot. Temperatures are coming back. The temperatures are here.
Checking with our friends over there on the Ham Network.
Ham.
The Ham Network.
Ham.
They're out and about this morning. And no. That's not the Ham. Lee, my ham over to my immediate left, over in the Woodlands where she lives, 66 degrees this morning it was. That's cold.
I know, it's nice and cool
It
this morning.
was. 92%
nice.
humidity, 30.06 inches of mercury,
Mhm.
no wind, and 0.07 inches of a little bit of something called water in your rain gauge. Carol called in this morning, River Bend area, up the river around the bend, 65 degrees, 99% humidity, 30.00 inches of mercury, no wind, and then 0.02 inches of rain. And Joe in the Barrow in Swansboro this morning, it was 69 degrees, 99% humidity, 30.05 inches of mercury, no wind and no rain there. In Bladen County, James checked in. It was 71 degrees. That was almost a warm spot, 96% humidity. And he had the wind out of the south at 1. That's pretty much negative for no wind. Richard in Jones County, 66 degrees, 100% humidity, 30.07 inches of mercury and falling ever so slowly. Had an easterly breeze of about 1 mile per hour, and he said it was foggy. He had 1.6 mile of visibility. That's over there in Jones County. And if you check our Facebook page, you can see what Joe reported on his way up to Moorhead City this morning in a little community area called Ocean. It was foggy there too. So there's a good picture there that Joe's got. Ward was just talking about Ward over at Cedar Point. He's got 72 degrees, 96% humidity, 30.12 inches of mercury and falling. Southwesterly breeze, and it was light, is what he said. Nothing in the rain gauge. Brian over in the Barrow, 68.5 degrees, 93% humidity, 29.74 inches of mercury. No wind, no rain. Randy, out on his golf cart riding around, he's chauffeuring Boomer this morning, 63 degrees, 99% humidity, 30.05 inches of mercury, and 0.05 inches of water there in the southwest. Now, Ken, he's got a new critter that he's going to pick up, he and his wife, next month. They got him a new dog. He's owned Basset Hound since, I think he said 95, was it?
Yes,
something like that, 30 years.
That's when I had my
And
Basset Hound.
he lost his
I miss mine.
longtime friend
Mhm.
earlier this year. And he says, I missed the pitter patter of feet. So we found one, looked for it, found it down in Georgia. So they're going to get it as soon as his conditions are right. So anyway, welcome the new critter to Ken's house. In Oslo Bay, it's 68.2 degrees, 83% humidity, no wind, and no rain. Here at the studio, right now, it's up to 67 degrees. It was 66 when I walked in this morning, 99% humidity. A little breeze out there was feeling good.
It was nice.
Cool, it's not much of a breeze,
Nice.
but just the slight movement of the air with the fan. And 50, it feels like 58 out there. That's the first time we've had that one lately. It feels like 58 to 66.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't think your thing is crazy.
Okay. 30.0 inches
Nonsense.
of mercury. And we had no rain here, and the wind is negligible. That means zero.
Negligible. Well, okay. According to this weather, it says 68. Feels like 68. Well, maybe it's feeling that heat index. 58. I don't know, Raver.
I'll worry about it next week. I got to go out there and do
I think
some
you're
maintenance.
actually writing me some oatmeal this morning.
Yeah, I got to do some work on that sucker. But anyway, we got a lot going on out there. But one thing up in New Jersey was I saw yesterday, and I got a little concerned about it. That set aerial pictures of a car that had exploded in front of a townhouse. It's up in New Jersey. I forgot the name of the community. But the police there, and now the bomb squad is investigating the explosion that ripped through a car parked in front of a townhouse Monday. The driver, he was there, just pulled in, was injured but hospitalized. The back half of the car, from just behind the front seat all the way to the back, looked like a junkyard had been hold of it. The first
Wow.
half of it was recognizable as an automobile. The back half of it, no.
Was it an electric vehicle?
No.
They had fireworks or something?
The bomb squad got called several
Oh.
hours after the explosion,
Oh.
apparently because there was no reason to explain how this car would just go boom.
Oh.
The explosion was so intense that nearby homes were damaged and windows along the street were blown out.
Was he going through a divorce or something? I mean, what in the world?
If that was a divorce, I mean, that's a tremendous divorce process. Don't know. It is New Jersey, and we do know about some of the
Yeah,
areas
yeah.
in New Jersey, right?
Concrete,
Boots,
yeah.
shoes.
You're right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It just looked to me extremely suspicious.
Commodities guy or something? Did he work for? Wow, that's really crazy.
He wasn't a Teamster that I know of. That's
Was he a union boss? I don't know.
I
But
don't
that's wow. Let me take this little one.
Well, make sure that it's not accompanied because they got some critter food down there.
Right. I'll dispose of.
Well, secure the food and we'll be okay. Hide the food.
Hide the food.
Hide the food. She's eaten, he hasn't. He did the same thing yesterday.
Okay.
Well, the United States, here we go again. We're reinstituting a blockade of Iran again. Naval warships are being positioned to make sure no ships, none, zero, will leave Iran, and no ships from other places will deliver anything to Iranian ports. The blockade was lifted when negotiators claimed Tehran was showing signs that it wanted peace with the United States and Israel. Remember that a few weeks ago? Again, one condition of the negotiations, the naval blockade had to go. Showing her good faith, the United States kept its part of that deal. Ships resumed calling on Iran. Obviously, they were resupplying the country with stuff that they needed because they were beginning to hurt a little bit. They weren't getting the supplies in. I don't believe we thought Iran would not literally stockpile much more supplies than it needed at the time. And apparently that's what they've done. They have a big stockpile now. And not any doubt on our minds that the rogue regime would not then continue its attacks on U.S. ships and commercial ships trying to navigate the Strait of Hormuz. And guess what? That's what's happening. Everybody predicted it would happen, from our government on down.
Why would
or
we?
from us on down to our government. I'm not sure. every sane person in this country, not one sane person in this country realistically believed that Iran was going to sit down at the peace talks at the table, break bread, and say, okay, we got you. We're good to go. Can you buy our oil now? No, that's never going to happen. We are never going to be at peace with Iran. Mark my word. That word will be accurate many years after I'm gone. We're still never going to be at peace with Iran.
No.
Not unless the peace you spell as in pieces. Because why do we trust the thugs? Any agreement? Why do we trust them?
We have been bombing them for what, 3-4 nights?
Yeah.
We had started that again. I mean, and the president said they have like nothing left. They have the military bases
He's
are
wrong.
liberated.
He's absolutely wrong.
And their planes are gone, all this stuff. But I mean, why is Iran still trying to force their hand on everybody?
Let's go back to 1979. I remember it well. Remember both attacks in New York? Remember those? How about no one can say that the United States has not given peace a chance? Nobody. We've tried. It's easy to agree to do to anything. It's easy for any two people or countries or anyone. It's easy to say, yeah, we'll do it that way. And most people will do it that way when they're under pressure. It's easy for them to agree to it, but only when they're under pressure will they do it, just to get a little relief. The question today is, how long are we going to continue this cat and mouse game? We've lost 14 Americans so far since the so-called war started in March. Oil prices are on their way up again. And with that comes the inevitable increase in gasoline prices, followed by heating oil shortly as we get ready for the winter cold weather in just a few months. As most of you have learned, and all of us should have learned, with an increase in oil prices, diesel prices, that means the big trucks and the big ships and stuff, and gasoline prices, the cost for most any product that we buy at retail or online stores increases because it costs more to ship those products into the United States and even more to truck it to retail stores all over the nation. Who do we have?
Dr. Rose.
Dr. Rosemary Stein. Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. I hope you are.
Oh, we're hanging in here. It was cold this morning. I about froze to death.
Oh.
Yes, it was
What is that? 60 degrees?
66 degrees.
Oh.
I didn't know what to make of it. But it felt good, and humidity is still fairly high, though. It should start to come down as the day heats up, but it's we're going to have hot weather again by the end of the day or tomorrow.
That is true.
Yeah.
We will all have hot weather again.
Yeah. How are things up in your neck of the woods? Anything going on?
Quiet on the Western Front.
Okay. I remember that book.
Yes.
I had to read it in high school.
That's right. Was quite a classic. Would be good for our children and students to have to read classics again so that they understand the context of things.
Yeah.
It's fine here. Not much illness.
Yeah. Good.
And the only problem right now is the little bit of that heat related stuff. The kids sometimes get themselves into trouble, so they're running around. But frankly, I think that if they're getting into a little bit of trouble, that means that they're active and they're doing. And when I mean trouble, there's some injuries, but then that at least means that they're active and they're doing things. Because idle children at home, they're getting into different kinds of trouble, not trouble where they're hurting themselves.
Right,
They get into
right.
trouble because they're on the internet too much and looking at things they shouldn't be looking at and being exposed to stuff that's not good for little eyes. So when I see injuries, at least I know, the kids are outside, they're getting into maybe poison ivy and things like that. And
yeah.
yeah. now that I think about it, the kids do get less of that than they did before, and that probably tells me it's because they're inside much more. I think it's a sign of the time.
Well, we still read about and hear about stories, and I think they're actually some of the news is a little bit behind times with this stuff that we talked about 2 weeks ago, like
Last week about
the stomach bugs and stuff.
Exploding diarrhea.
Gut grenades. That's what I call it. But anyway, I guess they're jumping on board it now because everybody seems to be reporting on how widespread it was or is or whatever. I thought it had kind of maybe died out a little
Well,
bit.
right now, North Carolina is showing over 240 cases reported. 186 of the 240 is from Wake County. Isn't that the state capital?
I see. Okay.
Well, that's
Yep.
where all the politicians are located, right?
That's the state capital.
That makes sense.
She said it. She said it.
Well, are you hearing anything new about that, or is it still the same situation?
I haven't heard any new cases since last week.
Okay.
Like I said, the week prior, we'd had a few kids with some pretty bad diarrhea, but in the last week, it's been pretty mild, and it's just got itself better. Wasn't it just wasn't acute, a terrible illness. It was just mild, and so I wouldn't have thought that cryptosporidia for that. So I think we just wait to see what happens. Sometimes these things come in waves. We hope it's done with. Sometimes it has one wave and then, a little break and it comes in another.
Mm-hmm.
And, I thought about it after we spoke last week, but one of the things to be careful about is even if your water is treated, is the treatment doesn't always get parasites and fungi. So it's best to make sure that for the time being you drink bottled water. Just like they tell us when we go to international tropical countries.
Sure.
If you really want to keep yourself safe,
Don't drink the water.
don't drink tap water. Don't cook with tap water for now. Make sure that your water is bottled.
And don't make ice cubes with your tap water because
a lot of persons have very, very precise filters.
Mm-hmm.
It probably is a good idea. And then when you go out to eat, the ice cube is what will get you. You don't know if they're filtering their water, if they're doing it from bottled water or whatever. So you probably want to have
take your own drink.
And take it. Yeah, exactly. Take your own bottled water. Ask for a bottle of water, and say I don't no ice cube for the time being until we hear that this is better.
Yeah. Now, this word diarrhea, one of those whispered words that people don't like to talk about a whole lot. And I will tell you right up front, if you're calling in sick at any time and you're trying to lie about it because you want to take the day off, if you tell the boss that you've got diarrhea, they don't ask you any more questions.
Karma.
Just one of the things. They don't say anything to you. They don't question you. Call in, got the flu. Well, when did you get your flu shot? I mean, they'll ask you a million questions. I got diarrhea. Oh yeah, okay. Well, stay home till you get better. That's the standard thing from bosses.
That is a standard thing. That is correct.
They don't want to discuss it.
They don't want you there. You'll be going to the bathroom, so you'll be kind of useless at work. And then you're going to go perhaps not wash your hands well.
Ooh, that gets see yours.
Yes. And touch everybody else's stuff. So,
sooner or later, everybody's going to have it for whatever reason. Now,
everybody poops, Reverend.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
and so diarrhea. With that comes other forms of it. Yes, it does happen. But if you have diarrhea, stay home.
Yeah, but if you need to stay close, literally, to facilities. But Doc, what is for your kids? They've got it. What do you do about it? And when do you, because adults should know what not to do. and they know when they're getting to the point that they're ready to die, and they'll go to the doctor sooner or later. But what about your kids? They just don't feel good, and they just got issues, but they don't want to stop playing in the summertime, right?
Well, and not stopping playing is one of the reasons that the children get sicker fast, because then if they have it and they keep on running around or being outside, they're going to get dehydrated more quickly, and children get dehydrated quicker than adults anyway. And so that's going to lead to them getting really sick faster. So it usually does limit their activity a little bit when they have one of these illnesses, just because they really don't feel well.
Right.
A kid that's not playing is a kid who's really not feeling well, and so that's your sign right there that there's an illness. The other thing is that they start looking kind of palish because they are dehydrated. That you're gonna have to do the parental duty as us moms often do, and take a look at the stools. Make sure there's no blood in there, and that they are dark, but they don't look black. Those are signs that there is blood mixed in with it. In those cases, you do need to be seen by your pediatrician or your family doctor, because that could be a sign of something that is very concerning.
Sure.
But if you see your child just look kind of gaunt, that's a sign of dehydration. They're not doing well. They're not taking in the fluids over a period of time that they should be taking, and so they're doing poorly. They might need some IV fluids in the ER or in the hospital for a day or so. So those are the signs that you really need to be mostly concerned about. And if you have vomiting and the diarrhea and it's going on for a couple of days, you're going to get dehydrated double fast.
Yeah.
And so those are signs right there that you don't just wait until the process is over, because you don't know when it's going to be over.
I mean, there are things that we as adults, but I don't think I've ever seen it recommended for kids. There are things you can go to over the counter and get to stop it, or to at least, put a hold on it for a while. Those are generally, I don't think I've ever heard a pediatrician recommend it if they've got diarrhea.
True. There's a product called Imodium that a lot of people will use because it'll stop you up. Do not use that in a child. And Pepto-Bismol, pediatricians, we don't generally recommend that because of the metals that are in it, and it can be very harmful to children.
Metals.
So those things, yeah.
Well, we got iron, steel, what? Lead?
What is this?
Copper?
I can't remember what. Yeah, I can't remember the heavy substance that's in there. But that's not something to give children until they're of maybe 16 to 18, because they cannot digest it well.
Wow.
I never could digest it. It just tasted so bad. I just wanted to puke.
I've never used it.
Bismuth. Okay, there we go. It should have been obvious because it's Pepto-Bismol. It's a bismuth.
Bismuth.
So it just sort of stays there in your stomach, and it creates sort of a lining, so that you may start feeling I just don't give it to the children.
Well, it's kind of like drinking paint, maybe, and it just lines everything up. That's what it looks like to me anyway. Pink paint. Never could stand the looks of it, or the smell of it, or the taste of it. So, all right. So,
children do not do well. The parents will insist I'm giving them something, and that's what they have at home.
Yeah, just regular first aid for it. Or if the kids got it or whatever, let them rest, and you pump them full of fluids or what?
Well, yep, that's correct. Use lots of fluids. Make sure that some of those fluids contain some electrolytes, and rest. You can use Tylenol and Motrin for fever, if they have a fever, or for body ache. They'll feel better soon, but don't ignore the process. And if it gets any of the symptoms that I talked about, don't just wait for the process to end, since you don't know when it's going to end. And call your doctor and see if they have an available appointment that day.
Yeah. Well, they should be able to. To me, that sounds like a case of I need to see you like urgently, and let's get you on something, figure out what's going on, make sure there's nothing critical, and then get some treatment going on. Wow. Okay, another topic here, and it's not for little kids, but I guess it could be as well. Something called teledoc. I'm reading stories overnight and this morning about a lot of hospitals, including ICUs, are depending upon remote doctoring or remote monitoring of people in the ICU or whatever. Are you seeing any of that anywhere in your neck of the woods? And what do you think about this?
I'm going to jump to the last one, which is I don't think that for the most part, teledoctoring is a great idea. There are very limited uses where I think it has usefulness. But for the most part, there's nothing like having the doctor be able to see you and diagnose you properly. There are a whole bunch of things that cannot be diagnosed over the phone. So I can't see how most of telemedicine is helpful and useful for the patient. Most of it is convenient for the patient, and convenient medicine isn't always helpful medicine. And frankly, it's a money maker for the medical industry. And once again, I don't agree with that. So once again, it has a limited usefulness. You can do some of it with, mental health, some skin infection, well, not even infections, but conditions that you've already sort of treated and they're coming back. You can, monitor them with telehealth. But for the most part, there's not a lot that I can see that ongoing or for urgent care, and definitely not for ICU, can be done through telehealth.
Yeah,
If a medical system is suggesting that on an ongoing basis, or even on an acute care kind of basis, like an emergency department, it's very, very limited in an emergency room setting or even an urgent care setting, what can be treated properly and completely with telemedicine.
One of the cases I was reading, young man, 26 years old, brought in I don't know what his issues were, but they hooked him up, put him in ICU. No doctor had seen him at all. Even when they got to the hospital, they went straight from the ambulance to the ICU. Don't know what the conditions were. Suddenly he was dead. 4 hours after he got there, and no, not here. It's in Bridgeport Hospital, Milford campus, whatever.
Okay. So
intensive
in
care
Connecticut.
unit.
Okay.
Yeah, intensive care unit there, and they had switched to all teledoc. The people monitoring it from wherever they were. Remote monitoring is all they're doing. And how can you get a response from a doctor from Connecticut from wherever, Charleston, West Virginia, or wherever you got this remote setup? And how many people are monitoring? And these banks, I know in ICUs you see one or two nurses there monitoring 4 or 5 people, but how many people at a remote location are monitoring how many hundreds of people per person? That's not monitoring. That's not intensive care. That's bag and tag time.
I would say that investigate your hospitals and make sure that they're adequately staffed with human beings. The primary human being taking care of you should be somebody with an MD or a DO after their name.
And they're breathing air right in front of me.
Yeah, and they should be standing physically there. Doctors shouldn't be ghosts. But any medical facilities that that are staffed with physicians or physician's assistants or somebody that's human should be one that you should stay away from.
Do you think some of this move by hospitals is because of insurance companies and the ongoing battle about how much money some insurance companies cut when they get the bills from the hospitals?
I think that it's because it's economically more convenient for them to do things remotely. It costs less. It costs more initially, but once the system is set up, it probably costs less. And I don't know. Yes, insurances are a terrible thing today. You have deductibles that can be as high as $7,500 per person. So that means that until you have $7,500 a year in paid bills that
right.
you personally paid, the insurance is not going to pick up a penny.
Huh.
And don't think that those are cheap insurances. That's an expensive insurance because at that point they have to pay 100%. But who has an individual $7,500 bill that they have paid so that they could get to that other side? And so, you have to count on that the patient that's coming in is going to be able to pay out of pocket, and that will take forever. It's a terrible situation. Our insurance climate that we have right now is a terrible one.
We have
to fix.
There are some issues here.
We were doing much better when we were just paying our doctors.
Yeah.
Yes.
But because of all of these insurances, they drove all the prices into unreasonable areas where nobody pays that. So you have to keep on increasing what you're hoping the insurance pays you, but nobody pays that except for the poor guy who's coming in with nothing but his wallet. And so to me, in all of the stuff that is going on in our country, it would be one of the top 5 things. It's not something that's been addressed yet.
Well, I don't know who's at fault, who's to blame, but somebody needs to figure it out because otherwise,
I agree. But it needs to be figured out, and it's been a very long time.
Since
we just took care of our own medical bills, or if you work for a big company, they can just take care of your bill. This whole insurance thing has driven everything into wacky zones.
When my daughter,
so I think we just need to go back to the beginning. You take care of yours, and if you work for us, and we have a health care plan, we'll take care of the bill.
Yeah. Well, my insurance, my whole thing. This is a long time ago. My daughter was like 3. She had a little injury, so I took her over to the ER, and they did a little thing. Not a big deal. Now the ER, the bill was. He gave me the bill for $10. And then my dad was standing there. He says, you've got insurance for that too. So, yeah. And the guy says, and yeah, that bill will be $20.
Wow.
Really?
That's true. That's exactly the way. Yeah, that's exactly the way.
Really? I was christened that day, and I will never forget that. She's 55 now, so that was a long time ago. But that's how the hospital bill, the ER bill was $10. Didn't have to do much. Just do a quick check. But, and $10.
Wow.
I can't even imagine a ER bill that low
I
today.
remember when my daughter was born, it was around $2,000 was the hospital bill. Right around $2,000.
Yeah, and that was a few years ago. I believe on average you're talking about $5,000 to $7,000.
Well,
Right.
the whole process, including the hospital bill for 9 months, came out to be $500, and that was without any insurance.
Yeah, and you
For
notice,
Band-Aid.
Rayford, everything was on one bill.
Everything was on one bill.
One bill. Not
including the
nowadays.
aspirin that we got. Doctor, okay, we've vented enough to you, so
Thank you for listening.
I think you probably suffer from the same situations too.
That is correct. And it's unfortunate, and it does have to be fixed. And
Yes.
it's an intolerable situation. Some people pay nothing, and those who work the hardest pay everything. And whenever you have a situation like that, then you're going to have price gouging because a person that has Medicaid or only Medicare will show up at a hospital, and they're not responsible for their bills at all. So that also leads to less than responsible living. You don't need to live responsibly if you're not pushed into living responsibly by your own responsibility.
Pretty much. Yep. Doctor, thank you as always.
Thank you, Dr. Rose.
Oh, you're very welcome. You guys have a great week.
You too.
And make sure to keep the kitties out of the direct sun and bring them inside in the next few days. The temperature's going to get pretty hot.
Yes, ma'am.
Between 10 and 3, keep them inside. Lock them down.
Oh, 10 and
That's
8.
right. Give them something to do. Books, guys, books.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Dr. Rose.
Dr.
Oh, you're
Rosemary,
very welcome.
Dr.
Bye-bye.
Rosemary Stein, she treats us because we're children at heart.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it is?
Well, she's a
second child,
doctor. Her specialty is pediatrics, but we can ask her questions, and she's always got the answers for us. It's our free medical moment of the week.
I just call it a concierge.
Yeah, our concierge.
Okay,
Doctor.
7:56. What do you guys think? I'm sure you've got war stories. I'm sure if you've gone to any doctors and you've got insurance. What kind of insurance woes were there? I'm amazed when I get a bill from it's not a bill. This is not a bill. It's at the top of the insurance papers that come in. You may owe this amount of money, and of course you don't, but whatever. But I look at the amount of bill what the medical folks charged the insurance company is
Right.
what they said with the bill, and then how much the insurance company actually paid, which I think is the realistic bill. But how do they? I don't know how that works. I would really like to have someone to be able to explain to me the billing parameters for insurance companies who pay medical bills, doctor bills, the hospital bills, the whatever kinds of bills.
Right.
Is it like buying a used car? I mean, they got this price up here, sticker price on the car, but I'm not going to pay that if I go buy that car. I'm going to go in there and say, you want $2,000 for this piece of junk car? Well, no. How about $1,200? No, I'll give you $1,000. Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
It's just not like it used to be. It used to be like when I had my daughter, one bill. But nowadays, like when I had my cataract surgery, you pay the eye doctor you pay the hospital for the use of the room.
Don't forget the guy to put you under.
And the anesthesiologist is another.
Is it not all one? I thought they all.
It used to be.
Yeah.
But health insurance companies now, those big old CEOs are sitting there living high on the hog.
I guess that's the way the medical folks get around the insurance companies
Right.
who are not going to pay that total bill. So they go each put in what they want.
Well, you bring to mind, and I'm going to say Congressman Murphy, because he's the one we've been talking to. He's been fighting these CEOs and these big corporate, companies for quite a while now, because, look at the changes in healthcare. Look at the changes, yes, you can have this. No, we're changing that. We're raising prices. They're controlling us. They're controlling us when it comes to healthcare. If you knew that you probably needed to have some small surgery done, it wasn't life-threatening, and then your health insurance company says, well, we're not paying for this and we're not paying for that, and you've got to have this and you've got to have that, and it's going to cost you out of your pocket so much money, would you do it? If it wasn't something that was life-threatening?
It goes back to the old joke that I read in Reader's Digest years and years ago. Okay, I love Reader's Digest.
Oh, I used to
And
love the
so
reader's
the
diary. I like to
guy-
make Christmas trees out of them.
The guy has gone to his doctor,
All right.
and his doctor says, George, you know, I'm looking at your chart here, and,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking here, let me ask you straight up. If I find it necessary that you're going to need surgery, or do you have the funds to take care of it?
Right.
His response was, Doctor, if I don't have the money to pay for it, do you think you'll find it necessary for me to have it?
True. Good point.
It
Well,
works
yeah.
both ways.
Yeah. Well, I just recently went.
And you don't want to go to a doctor that has just bought a new boat,
Right.
making payments on a new boat. Okay?
How's that boat
I'm
running?
just saying.
How's that boat running? Well, it's like I just recently went for my 6-month dermatology checkup because now that I'm older, I have a lot of sun damage and stuff. But I have had a couple places cut out that were cancerous, skin cancer,
Mhm.
and which is fairly common as you get older, I'm finding out. But I had a place that was cut out and biopsied about 4 months ago. You can't even tell there was ever anything there.
I know.
And they had scheduled me, it was either surgery to cut your face open or radiology, which I've done the radiology before on different spots. It was simple. And I'm like, I went in there Monday. I said, you can't even tell I ever even had anything there. There's nothing there.
Mhm.
And she said, well, it's basal form and it's
Right.
very slow growing. It could take a very long time before you see anything. So do I go ahead and go radiology and have all these treatments now, or do I wait? I opted to wait. I mean, why? Why? I mean, do I know for sure that the laboratory results were correct, or is it an insurance company wanting to make money?
I don't
Eh?
know.
I don't know either. But I mean, I just said until something surfaces and you know, I don't see the need for it.
It is such a complex mess. I don't think the British plan of medicine, paying for it is the right way. Not based upon a friend of mine, he and his wife, and they're British, they're English, and even Peter Wright in here. I'm not jazzed about what I'm hearing from the people who actually need it, who need insurance, who need medical treatment, and it sounds to me more like the way the VA used to work. The VA has improved a lot, but it sounds to me like there are people dying, waiting to get care. Is what it sounds like to me. All right, let's go back to our less than favorite subject, the 4-letter word. Iran.
Oh, I just saw a news thing that came out here
Yeah.
that they were going to try to start blocking other areas.
How long do we need to keep Iran isolated from the rest of the world? Should we? I mean, putting up a blockade, that keeps people from bringing stuff in by boat. And that's how they get most of the stuff. They can't afford to bring it all in by airplane. Most of us, I think, are wondering when we're going to do more than target just the military operations, perhaps some government infrastructure with some limited strikes on the power grid. But right now, the president is saying that the power grid is going to be a problem. Now, a UN dude says this is all anti-human, or whatever he said.
Anti-human.
You cannot do that. You need to open up. You need to get rid of that naval blockade. You don't need to be bombing Tehran. It's okay that they bomb a few ships. That's no big deal. So they kill a few Americans. That's not a big deal. That's what he's thinking. Obviously, when he says that we need to open up everything and just let Iran do like it wants to do, what's next? I can tell you what's next. A big old mushroom cloud. Maybe a half dozen of them over this country. That's what's next. Soon as they can get it delivered here, either in a suitcase or by missiles, it's coming. It is coming.
Well, I don't know if you know, you probably heard tomorrow night, 9 p.m., President Trump is giving a speech tomorrow. The rumors are that he's going to be discussing the 2020 election and that they have found proof of a
God.
foreign interference. Now, I do not know if that's correct. The only thing I'm seeing
Get over it.
in the news or in social media or whatever are these off the wall news media companies, whoever, saying this. I have not seen anything from our more credible news media saying that this is what the speech is about. And so I don't know. Others tend to think it has to do with an announcement about our war with Iran. So it's
What
going
else
to
can he
be,
say?
it's going to be, yeah, I can't, yeah.
We're going out to kill him.
We're going out to, yeah,
Um,
I'm just,
the Iranian people out there away from Tehran, the real people out there, they're not going to be hurt so bad if we shut off their electricity by blowing up their power grids. They're not going to suffer so bad. Why? Because they're resilient people. If you did it here in this country, we would be dying in the streets from crying. We would cry ourselves to death because we couldn't live without it.
well,
They can.
well, let me ask you, Rayford.
Uh-huh.
If you were the president and you've been going through all this with Iran and we've been doing what we're doing, would you continue just to pick away at them
Nope.
little bit by little
Nope,
bit?
nope.
What would you do?
Yeah, I've given you the chance. You have violated every bit of trust that we put in you to end this thing peacefully, to get on. All you've got to do is meet the one big demand, and that is you are going to eliminate, or we are going to eliminate, your choice, your nuclear capabilities. Done. Once you can show us that you do not have it anymore, we will shake hands and play nice. I will keep a gun loaded behind my back, but we will shake hands and play nice.
Okay, but knowing that you do not have the support of a lot of countries around you, would you still push the button? Would you still?
I will ask you what are the consequences for not taking action?
Can I ask you, why is it that we feel like we have to be the ones
Who
to
is
police
who
this?
is in the bullseye? Two places.
Mm-hmm.
Israel and the United States.
Right.
They don't care about Russia. They don't care about Kuwait. They don't care about Saudi Arabia and North Korea is their pal. They don't care about anybody else about taking them out. They have two enemies. I would remind all of those countries, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Russia, Ukraine, Belarus. I would remind all of those people, including Rome, including the Vatican. These people don't really like you either. You understand that? They
Right.
don't like England, but they're not making a big deal out of that. They're making a big deal out of the United States and Israel. But just what? A guy named Hitler, he only went after what? Poland to begin with? And then what? France?
Well, look what Iran's done. Look at what
Everywhere.
we've suffered. 9/11.
Yes,
You know,
twice.
twice, yes. I mean, we've lost a lot of lives too. But if you had the choice of just continuing on, a little bit here, a little bit there, or pushing the big button and saying, boom, we're done.
I'm not going to push the big button. I'm not going to do nuclear. That way,
No, I don't mean nuclear. I
Okay.
mean pushing all right, we're going to go in and we're just going to destroy everything.
we go in and you destroy the halls of their government completely. You destroy the foundations for their military
Excuse me.
completely.
Right.
And you do that from not going from the bottom up. You do it from the top down. If you destroy the leaders, what are they going to do? If everybody, I mean, at some point in time, people are going to stop standing up and say, let me be leader for a while. What you got, 20 minutes? Yeah, that's it. Leader for 20 minutes. Leader a day. Bang. Done.
Well, I know. I don't. Of course, it is my firm belief that the president and our military leaders know exactly what they're doing and what's going on and what is hidden. And so I think that maybe they just chip away a little bit each day, but Iran is never going to just stop. I mean, they're out there trying to take control of the waterways again.
Yeah.
Of the strait. And we're like,
how many mines do you think they planted there? Okay, no, let's say the president back on the day 2 or 4 or 6 or whatever it was of this so-called war back in March. He said, we've destroyed their Navy. We've taken out this ship, this ship, this ship, this ship, this little boat, that little boat, these little boats, and all they got left were little skiffs, or words to that effect. But what were those 3 big boats that I saw circling one of ours the other day? We did not take them out. We damaged them. They were not usable, but that's been 6 months.
right.
It's 5 months, whatever. It's been, they repaired them. They did something with them.
I just see no end to this. Iran is going to keep just pushing, and we're going to say, okay, boom, that's one less boat, bye. And they're going to be back pushing the next day. It's just
When they're riding around on camels and that's the only transportation they got, the best they got is
right.
camel riders. That's okay with me.
Right. Oh, that fits right into hump day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna be anxious to hear what the president has to say tomorrow night.
I don't know what he can say. And if he gets back harping on this election from 2020, 6 freaking years ago,
Right.
I'm going to explode on the TV.
Right. I
I'm
don't blame you, right in
I'm
bed.
absolutely unglued.
I think we have Steve calling.
That's I hope that wherever you're reading that, they're full of beans,
I don't
and they probably need to go get some Imodium. Hey, Steve. I'm not nice
Hey,
today.
good morning, guys.
Hey, good
Still
morning.
pretty good. Like that walk at the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
pretty day out here, and it ain't nowhere near as warm as it has been.
Thank God.
Got a.
Yep.
That'll change. Wait a few hours.
We have a new caller online too, Josh.
I hear you.
I'm gonna pot him up. I don't know whether you guys can hear each other, but we're gonna find out what Josh has got on his mind. If you could hold on,
Right.
bear with us, Steve.
Yeah, sure.
Josh,
All right.
hang on. We got Steve on one line, got you on the other.
Hey,
Let's see if
Josh.
we all can talk.
Josh, can you hear me?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning.
I appreciate the calling me, sir, but I work for a living.
So do I. I'm actually heading there right now.
Where are you headed?
I'm heading to a bowling center up here in just outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
What in the name of heaven are you doing in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? Are you
well,
being held captive, or do we need to send a rescue team?
No, sir. It's part of the job that I have.
Okay.
He
Good.
inspects
There's 4 of us that
bowling
travel around the country doing this.
Oh, excellent. A bowling alley.
Yeah, he
I didn't even know
inspects
they had
them.
them.
Yes, sir.
Somebody took me bowling twice in my life, and the first time
I love the bowl.
they got mad because the ball went about halfway down the court before it hit the ground, or before it hit the alley.
You lobbed it.
I lobbed it.
That's bad.
It went bad.
You're not the first one, and you probably won't be the last.
Well, I was thinking it was a hand grenade, just a big old hand grenade, and that's what I was doing with it.
So I tune into you every once in a while when I'm up and out and about on Facebook, and I know you're talking about Iran this morning.
Oh,
and
yes.
I've had discussions not only with family but with friends, but I think enough is enough. If we're going to go ahead and turn them into a glass parking lot, let's just do it and get it over with. Okay? If there's just going to be no diplomacy about this, and I don't think the Iranians in any one of their ayatollahs or how many they're going to put in place, it's ever going to happen. We just need to go ahead and just be done with it and just do what we said we're going to do. I think the president's got several plans in place. I really don't think he wants to destroy the country. I really think he wants to strike a deal. But I really just think that they're just not going to cooperate. And you know what? He's done said that, there's going to be, mass destruction if it don't happen. Let's just do it and get it over with and be done with it and move on. And then we need to find out why the gas prices are still so high.
Oh, yeah.
With, oil being way under $100 a gallon.
Yeah. So
let's just count our losses, be done with it, and just do what we said we're going to do and move on. That's the only way they're going to learn. They're not going to learn any other way. Anything else, they're going to claim as a victory for themselves.
My family, we love the eat seafood and all that sort of good stuff. And what I've heard a lot, we have other fish to fry. Let's move on.
Amen to that.
So that's the way I'm looking at it.
We got veterans that need help.
Yeah,
we have other issues. We have other issues that we could turn to we could dedicate our time to, other than the stupidity over in Iran.
I don't. The parking lot, the glass parking lot you're talking about is going to involve a lot of heat in the sand. I understand that, but I would love to be able to see us. I think we have enough conventional weapons. We've deployed a lot without getting a lot of people actually hurt in the actual combat part. But there are ways to go through there. Yes, it will involve some boots on the ground, but I think most of that would be cleanup if we did it right.
Agreed. But now, okay, do you open that up to the rest of the people that are there? Are they going to rise up and do the same thing?
No, if you put a border around it, no, they will not. I think a big chunk of the rest of the people there are going to say thank you.
I think a good percentage of them will. Yes.
Yep. It's going to be in our favor to do that. I don't think they will want to rebuild that same capital.
But we just need to wrap this up and be done with it. We got too many other issues over here that just need our attention here at home.
Insurance, medical issues, everything else we've got in this country that need to be fixed.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely insurance, and that's a whole nother ball of wax.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
All right. Hey, Josh, appreciate your call this morning, sir.
Thank you,
Don't be a
Josh. Be
stranger. Call
careful out
back.
there.
Hey, not a problem. Y'all take care. I'll be back in Jacksonville by the end of the month.
All right.
good.
Come see
Look forward
us.
to it. Bye-bye.
Bye. Steve, are you still there?
Steve, I'm hoping
I'm
that was
still here.
a little bit of an experiment. Could you hear anything that he was saying?
It sounded like he was standing outside talking to you. So it sounded to me I could catch a little bit of it here and there, but it was
Great.
very distant.
I'm working on it.
Well, thank you for
It was
being
better
part
than
of
it was
our.
last time. I could actually tell there was somebody talking.
Well, thank you for being part of our test.
Yeah. It's hard to do it unless I actually do it on the air. That's the
Right,
problem.
right.
I can sit in here all day long and play the games, and I have, and it sounds like it's a perfect, absolutely perfect until you get on the scene with your drums and your guitar and your everything else that you got, and none of it sounds good together. That's the issue that I'm running into. But anyway, I'll get to it one day. But some of the stuff backfeeds in other areas. That's the problem.
I was going to say, enough about running sound to know that you can have it perfect and the room can fill up with people, and that changes everything.
That's another ball of wax altogether.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we?
Where are we?
I kind of got adjusted to what he was saying was, going into Iran and, doing an invasion and overthrowing the government.
Well, I think what he was actually saying, and I know it was an exaggeration, but and that's why I came back with what I did. What he was saying was, let's just go in and turn the place into a glass parking lot. Obviously, that's the reference to heating it up with an atomic energy device, and but turning sand into glass. We're not going to do that. There's too much fallout. That country's not that big. It would just drift everywhere. Number one. So the collateral damage is way beyond belief. Did you just whistle for me?
No, I whistled for my dog who's about 150 yards away, and now she's running right straight at me. And she sat down.
Okay, I'm just checking.
We do do drills in the park where I make her sit down and I walk about 150 yards away from her, and then
And
so
you call
she
her.
can come.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. And she flies.
She's
doesn't
pretty
she?
good at it. Yes, she does. Man, she is quick. It's the only way I can let her run, because there's no way I could keep up with her when she runs.
I understand.
Yeah. But back to that scenario, invasions are one thing, occupations are another. So in order to reshape how they reform, we don't have a big enough military to by ourselves occupy Iran.
Nope.
So that right there is almost off the table, because there's no alliance with the UN or other countries that would bring enough people in to even consider that.
I think you're right. I don't think that we have the relationships that we should have with these other countries, or that we could get. But I think part of that reason is a lot of those countries don't like Israel any more than Iran likes Israel. You understand that?
Right.
A lot of places don't like it, and that's bad on them. Shame on them. But it's the way they are. I got people that don't like.
If you stop back and you take a look at the big picture, everybody in the world's got to be on board with whatever deal we make, or it's probably just going to fall apart.
Pretty much.
If you look back at the deal Obama had, I'll be the first one to admit that was far from perfect. It was even like some of it was dumb.
Yeah.
But they had to get everybody to agree to it. So I mean, that was going to be a bit of a mess, of wants and wishes. And but if you don't get everybody to agree to it, I said it before, we can put all the sanctions we want on them. If Russia's still going to deal with them, it's almost irrelevant.
Yep.
Yeah. And so therein lies our problem, is that this is a much more complicated situation than the people who say turn it into a parking lot understand.
Let's talk about that deal with you talking about with Russia still going to deal with them. But a lot of people don't understand. So Russia deals with them. No big deal. We all everybody cuts Russia out. No, they won't. Not everybody will cut Russia out. China's not going to cut them out. North Korea's not going to cut them out. I mean, and then Russia then will be nothing but a channel for everybody else's products coming through, and then it will resell them. See, they are not as dumb as you think. They will resell them to Iran. Hello. Because nobody else will do it, and the only place that Iran will be able to buy stuff like that, for instance, might be directly from Russia.
And Russia isn't beyond being, somewhat corrupt and breaking the rules as far as what they're supposed to sell them and what they're not supposed to sell them.
And they don't care about that. Well, who's going to enforce those rules?
Right, but like I say, therein lies your problem. And the other side of this is that the whole world understands, except for most Americans, unfortunately, is that our policy may take a 180-degree turn in the next 6 months or the next 2 years. And that's one of the things that the rest of the world looks at America as a flaw, is that we can completely change how we're treating other countries over an election.
Yep.
There's no consistency in our administration anymore.
Nope.
They want a whole lot to start with. It was, one of the biggest criticisms the rest of the world had against us is that, you can only trust America for 4 years at a time. And so I mean that's also an issue as well, is that they know that if they bide their time, they may have a better negotiating position.
That was a problem.
America might just walk away.
That was a problem in the Old West when we were negotiating with the American natives. I'm sorry that we had this one administration who would sign a treaty, and then this other one come back and 4 years later and break it. So who can trust? Who can do things like that? Once it's down on paper, it should be there forever and ever and ever, unless some extenuating circumstances. I'm talking about like the Constitution. It should be there unless some extenuating circumstances make it necessary to make changes.
Well, if you go look it up right now, we still have a treaty with Native Americans, the U.S. government, that says that the native reservations will have representation in Congress.
Yeah, how's that
And
working
we
out?
still have not. I mean, that's from the 1800s, and we still not have honored that treaty yet.
Not the only treaty we haven't honored.
Well, and that undermines the trust the rest of the world has in us, and it's understandably so. The way we conduct ourselves, it has an effect on how people perceive us.
Yep.
And our wish-washiness that our administrations have, that's it's a problem. America's the greatest country in the world, but there are some cons that ain't all pros.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the one thing I think, like I say, most people talk about just going in there and just, boots on the ground, take over the place. Man, there's a much bigger picture than that. What happens next? You always have to say, what happens after that?
Yeah. What does, right.
As the way to put it is, what next?
Well,
What next?
If you go into a situation, you want to think about what might happen and be prepared for that. It's like going out on a boat and not taking any life jackets. You might be okay.
You will 99 times out of 100.
Right, but it's still not a good idea.
That's right.
Dumb idea.
And to think about, overthrowing this government without thinking about what's going to happen next, maybe you shouldn't go until you know. And, but anyway, I can beat that drum all day. That, our government don't think things through very well, and neither do most Americans.
I just don't know what we can do, how long we can wait. There are things, too much talk. We can talk things to death, and if we do things, everything we do is by a committee, and we know how that works out for you. It never works in any industry. Everything is done by committee. Committees will fail, and the businesses will fail. Watched it happen. Projects never get done when that happens. And then you're behind the time. Somebody else comes in and takes over. I don't know what we should do now. I really don't know what we should do.
Yeah, I'm not smart enough to have what I would call an answer for you, but I think somebody needs to step up and try and, develop some kind of coalition if we're going to accomplish anything. If we don't have a coalition, then it's all just smoke and mirrors. It's all just a show.
For other events that we've gotten involved in, if you remember back with the desert stuff, we did have a coalition going in.
Right.
And on everyone, we didn't have the greatest, strongest coalition, as it turned out, but we did have a coalition of individuals, countries that felt the same way we did and said, well, we got to do something. And we, all of us, did. Some put forth more than others. In other words, this country put forth more than others. This country's bigger than most countries that are involved. So we got more power. We got more stuff. We got a better army. We got better trained groups. And we got more supplies. So, everybody's looking at us, but now everybody looking at us like if we do anything, it's all going to be on us and us alone. And that's the scary part. I don't know that we can pull it off alone.
Well, but if you look at even in recent, like you say, Iraq and Afghanistan, going in there and, rolling across them countries was, I ain't going to say it was easy, but it was achievable. It's when we got to the part where we were occupying Iraq, occupying Afghanistan, and trying to fight an insurgent. I mean, you can go back in every major military, back hundreds of years, and insurgents is the Achilles heel of an occupation. It's almost impossible, to get rid of. And that's the problem that many people before America ever was even conceived, that they ran into. And that's the same situation. Iran is quite a bit larger than Iraq. So, logistically trying to occupy Iran is even more difficult. And we have less resources because of no coalition.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how anybody could look at this scenario and say that, that we have a legitimate plan.
I haven't heard it. Nobody showed it to me.
Well, and I ain't even heard like the framework of a plan. What we're actually trying to achieve here, it varies from one interview to the next. And, if we're going to try and say they can't have nuclear power plants, that's a problem. And if they have nuclear power plants, I've said this before, so I hate to say it, over and over again, but if they have nuclear power plants, they are just you have to monitor that very closely to make sure that they don't.
And that's what we were saying in back in 2015 or whatever that they wouldn't agree to, but we were demanding, and then we just said no, we won't really demand it. We were demanding that we had full inspections, not just the coalition would have full inspections of all of their nuclear operations, period, bottom line. Otherwise, you're not going to get any nuclear power plants.
Well,
it's your choice.
And I believe this is worth mentioning. The coalition understood that there was issues with the deal, that Iran wasn't complying 100% with it.
Correct.
They wanted to address those issues, but instead, Donald Trump just tore the deal up and walked away and said, I don't care, and made no efforts to do anything about that issue after that until now.
Mm-hmm.
So, even though, if we made a deal, even if we make a deal now, do we expect them to comply 100%, or do we think that there's going to have to be some issues worked out? As we go along?
They've already proven that this is not going to happen.
Right.
This last go round, where we actually stopped the blockade, we kept the ships in pre-positioned, but we pulled out. We agreed, and then look what they did. I think that may have been their problem to deal with now. I don't know. I don't know how we will deal with it, but I fear it, and I look forward to it. It's both, I don't know. Trying to look down range is hard when you can't see it.
Right, but my point is that we should reasonably expect that any deal we make now is going to have some issues along the way as we're implementing it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Right, that's a fair assessment. That's a fair, assumption.
That's why I'm saying that right now there is no deal possible, because we're not going to believe anything they say.
Right, but we were at that point, 5-6 years ago, where we should have reasonably expected that there was going to be some issues along the way. Instead, we had somebody, for whatever reason they did it, just decided to abruptly destroy what we had built at that point. Where now we're trying, clawing and scraping, trying to get back to where we were, which is a deal with them that they may not honor. It's astonishing to me the level of ignorance that's exhibited in that.
What's bothering me is that all along, Iran has said, we are not going to honor any deal that was going to allow you to inspect our nuclear facilities. We're not going to do it. They have said that from day one.
Well, I have a problem with that, Rafer, because the Atomic Energy Committee doesn't agree 100% with that, but they did have some places they didn't want to let us into. I agree with that.
Yeah, like the places that they make bombs in.
That was the reporting, and it was the places we wanted to see the most.
Yeah, where they make bombs.
Right, but is it not reasonable to expect that they were going to try and, hide something or block something as we implemented that deal, and then we needed to figure out how to address that? And at the time, we didn't try to address that problem. They just tore the deal up and walked away. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the dilemma I have with it, is that we should have addressed it right then. If they were going to tear the deal up, they should have sent the B-2 bombers right behind it. It bothers me that for the rest of his presidency and all the time that Joe Biden was president, he was telling us, they're going to get us in a war with Iran. They're going to get us in a war with Iran. And he is solely responsible for that war with Iran. He tore up the deal, and now he's the one that ordered the invasions or the bombings.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know how to describe how exactly I feel about that in, polite terms, but I feel like I'm being lied to, to say, the least. But anyway,
Okay.
that's kind of my view of it. Everybody might not quite see it the same, but, there's some undeniable facts, which is he tore the agreement up, walked away, didn't care nothing about it
Mm-hmm.
till now. And maybe that's part of the problem. But
I don't know.
that's my rant. I'll get off my soapbox now.
All right.
Thank you, Steve. We'll talk to you
You're
later.
welcome, guys. Have a blessed day.
You too.
Gusty winds we've been enduring are going to calm just a bit, as will the seas. Looking at conditions out to 20 nautical miles today, we'll see some swells, 2 to 4 footers, with easterly winds of about 5 knots. Tomorrow, light southwesterly winds, about 5 knots once again. Seas running 2 to 3 feet. Then on Friday, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, and they're going to get up a little bit higher in the afternoon. So westerly winds and nice warm winds develop. 15 to 20 in the afternoon, seas 2 to 4 feet.
Okay, today we're looking at sunny with a high near 95. Heat index values as high as 100 with a light and variable wind. Tonight, clear with a low around 72. Thursday, sunny and hot with a high near 97. Friday, sunny and hot with a high near 97. And Saturday, it's going to cool down. Sunny with a high near 95.
That's cool down. Blah, blah, blah. Less hot. Less
hot.
What bothers me about Iran is that they're still planting and have been planting all along. And I'm not sure how they've been getting away with it, because we've been on station, but setting out their landmines, their sea mines for ships. We don't know where all of them are.
Right. Well, I think we do. I think we have people in strategic places that are monitoring everything. And maybe that's why we're just picking away a little bit at a time. Behave or daddy's going to spank. I just tired of it.
I think if we know where those mines are, maybe we should hook onto them and tow them into the port there in Iran and
Right.
just line their port with them. Any boats that try to come in, good riddance.
Well, it's gonna. I just was reading an update on his speech Thursday night, and yes, he is going to be touching on election integrity, and it has a lot to do with the SAVE Act that Congress is having problems getting passed through. But he's also going to be touching on Iran and a few other things. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow night, which is an unusual night for him to do that. But I'm glad
I
that.
hope that I don't come in here on Friday and blow a
Man.
gasket.
I hope not either.
I'm really, Mr. President, your election, you screwed it up.
Right.
Nobody else screwed 2020 up but you. All
Right.
by your lonesome. You did not shut up when your advisors told you to shut up. Your family told you to shut up. The world told you to quit tweeting, twittering, or whatever you do with it. Your fault. There is nobody at blame but you. You had this world by, not like tiger by a tail, but you had this world riding a nice calm horse. You did. You could have gone on to be president for 8 straight
I don't
years.
see much that he's been tweeting lately that even bothers me anymore. I don't know.
No,
Have I
no.
gotten-
I'm talking about
this-
up until then. That's what got
Right.
him unelected.
Mhm.
And then he wants to now come back and blame everybody else.
Right.
He's not CIA. You don't get that opportunity, Mr. President.
I do want to switch in conversation real quick. The daylight savings time bill passed the House,
Yep.
the U.S. House, by a
Hugely.
huge margin. It was like, 117 to 45 or something like that.
Whatever, yeah.
And now it's gone back to the Senate, which the Senate had passed it years ago, but it just stayed in the committee. But it's gone back to the Senate for a
Different group of
vote now.
senators back then, too.
Yes, and if that
Changing every
passes,
day.
then it'll be up to each individual state whether or not to accept that. So we'd have to go
it's
through
up-
our
it's
legislature.
up
I
to
say
each-
do it.
It's up to each individual state, has been all along.
Well, I say do it. Do it because
we could have opted out of it anytime we wanted.
because it's sunny when I get up and it's sunny when I go to bed. I like
it won't be.
No, I like it. Just one time, and let's just all this flipping the clocks
On
back and
December
forth.
21st, it's going to be really dark for a long time in the morning.
Well, that's the longest day. That's the shortest day of the year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can get through it.
No, we can't.
Yes, we can.
I mean,
It's
how are we
not
going to
a
make it
big
through with
deal.
Santa Claus coming
Oh
a
God.
few days later?
Do we have to even talk about Christmas right now? And another thing that I wanted to bring up too, the American Legion has put out a clarification, I would say, on the recent post that they did about there not being an Onslow County Agricultural Fair this year.
Yeah.
They have now said that, well, maybe we kind of messed that up a little bit. There's going to be a carnival. It'll be the same rides and everything as the fair. It'll be out in the field as usual, but because they're not having all this other stuff that they have with the agricultural fair, it's been reclassified now as a carnival. So all the rides in the carnival food will be there. It just won't be in, you won't be going and all the vendor booths and stuff. But now it's been reclassified carnival. So that will
I
be
have a
there.
question for you.
And that will probably be in October as usual. Do not have dates and times yet. So yes. What's the question? You're going to ask me something I can't answer. Go ahead.
They're going to have the hoochie coochie girls there too?
The bearded ladies?
Well, no.
I don't know, Rayford. I don't know if you're going to be. I imagine that.
They had exotic performers before we had exotic performers in Jacksonville.
Well, we had that on a Christmas parade one year.
No. They were not exotic. They had
The pole ladies.
they had some of the according to what some of the guys in high school used to go there to,
Right.
and including my cousin,
Yes.
and he came back. There was some nasty stuff happening, talking performance there. Called them the hoochie
I
coochie
don't
girls.
think there's
Yes.
much of that anymore now with
I
the
haven't
county
seen it.
fairs or carnivals.
I haven't seen it, but
Yes.
I didn't see it then. But except you could see the girls out there. They would have a little review,
Right.
and then come on up here, see more. Give us your money.
Only thing I remember is the advertisement for the bearded ladies. I never went into any of that growing. No, I didn't do that, but did ride the rides. But I don't.
No, I didn't ride
merry-go-round's about my speed too. Can't do those
I got
others.
aboard the live ponies. They had live ponies for a live merry-go-round.
Right.
Did you ever see those?
Yes.
I was
yes.
a little kid and I did that. That was
Yes.
fun.
No, I got on the plastic ones. They go around.
You are really an urban cowgirl, aren't you?
Urban.
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 One person is dead.
Oh no.
3 remain missing and 16 others were rescued Tuesday after a pontoon boat capsized near Alcatraz Island off the coast of San Francisco.
Yes.
20 people were aboard the boat. It's believed that 2 people remain missing. 13 survivors made it safely to shore while 3 others were transported to a hospital. The vessel is a 3-deck pontoon boat that was about 600 yards from Alcatraz Island when it capsized. Initial reports were that the boat was on fire. Responders found that it had capsized and was after taking on water. Okay, now I do know a bit about boating. A 3-deck pontoon boat. It wasn't overly wide, I will tell you that from the pictures that I saw, and was not broad in the beam. In other words,
Right,
not
yeah.
as stable as I would suspect it should be. A 3-deck one, and it would look to be about probably 35 feet long. A 3-deck pontoon boat. 3 decks. Water level. 1 up, 2 up, attic. With the top deck always being where most people would want to gather for a sightseeing tour. That's what they said, and that's the way things work. That means top heavy, unstable.
Yes.
If everybody goes rushing to one side at one time, or a little bit of water comes around, or you get a little bit of a leak in it, you get a little bit of water over the stern, over the bow, or whatever. Yes, the motors were still running when this boat was underwater for a little while. That's what the fire department said when they got there. So yes, these things are, it's not pretty when this happens. But where was the Coast Guard in inspecting this thing? Something of that size, carrying that many passengers, that should be, it is a mandatory Coast Guard inspection on a regular basis. And they take them out of the water and inspect everything, including the hulls. I don't know how this one works. Somebody wait for the report on this one, y'all, is all I can tell you.
Yeah. I was watching it yesterday, and some of the live pressers on it, and the talks from the authorities, and I'm like, wow.
I'm I know nothing about the actual thing, but just knowing what the boats do, and every boater out there knows when you get top heavy on a boat, what occurs. It's not pretty. Looking like the folks in San Francisco, speaking of San Francisco, are finding its left-leaning politics have not been working. Whoops. Voters have turned out and are supporting a government that is meandering back towards the center. Neither left nor right. How about that for a change? According to a recent report from Politico, Mayor Daniel Lurie and his moderate allies have successfully constructed a powerful centrist political apparatus that is resonating with residents weary of the city's pandemic-era decline. That place has gone to Hades.
I haven't watched the newest fraud video that Nick Shirley put out, that Dr. Oz was with him when they were in California going to door. I've got to watch that, but uncovered some big-time fraud.
Here's some of the reports here. A key piece of the effort to advance Lurie's political and policy agenda is something called Believe in SF, or Believe in San Francisco, a nonprofit advocacy group that has quietly established itself as one of the most deep-pocketed forces in San Francisco. Its PAC, one of the several entities that make up the group's operation, just raised nearly $1.8 million to back Lurie's favored candidates, not him, his favored candidates, and ballot measures in the city's June primary. That's next year. There could be some major changes in San Francisco. That might be put San Francisco back where it's supposed to be. That maybe Los Angeles would get on board after that too. That would be kind of interesting. Maybe California wouldn't be a just total wasteland. Now, one of the that'd be a kind of an interesting thing. But maybe down there in New Hanover County, you know that place?
Yes,
it's kind of like its own little island surrounded by conservatives. It's an island where folks have been coming in for the last 50 years from other places and thinking they didn't like where they live, so they were going to bring it to New Hanover County and convert it into the places that they left because they didn't like them. It's a very left-leaning place. It's about the only place in eastern North Carolina like that.
Yes, very left. Yes.
And I've got a feeling that
see what
maybe some of this stuff that is happening in other places might just end up making New Hanover County part of North Carolina again.
Here's a little bit on what I was talking about with Nick Shirley. He's a young man. He's a podcaster, YouTuber that has been very huge in uncovering a lot of fraud, like he did in California. This time, Dr. Oz came with him, and it was in New York City. And they said they have video claims to have uncovered millions in fraudulent adult care centers for the elderly. Getting state funding for adult and personal home care in
and who's
New
running
York
these
City.
Adult daycare facilities, and who is their friend?
Medicaid czar Dr. Oz joined Shirley and claimed senior services centers in the borough of Queens, New York, have generated $2.1 billion in the last 3 years. At one point, Shirley asked to see one of the places under the pretense of enrolling his grandmother and is told, no Americans here, only Koreans. So I think she cannot get along with the other people because they cannot speak English, is what the man told Nick Shirley. Shirley gets in with this lie. Oh, she speaks Korean. She wants to come play games with the other old people. And so, yeah, they walked a single block in New York City and found double-digit pharmacies. And in New York
double-digit
City,
pharmacies. What do you mean by that?
well, they were saying that there's like a pharmacy on every corner there, and it's run a lot by non-American, let's just say. Dr. Oz
Legal
says,
ways of distributing drugs. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I don't think you could go anywhere in America and think this was normal unless there was a cash cow business feeding it. That's what
Absolutely
Dr.
not.
Oz said. And Nick Shirley said, all these people need is a medical beneficiary number, and that is worth more than any credit card that a senior can give anybody.
Mm.
And Dr. Oz said that some of the drugs in those pharmacies cost more than a car.
Well, we've seen that.
Yep, non-legit. Yeah, that's
We've
just.
seen that.
I've got to see that video. I've not seen it yet. But yeah, I mean, so much fraud that has gone on for years and years and years and years. And then we complain, which we have the right to do, about healthcare companies upping our premiums and giving us less and not covering this or that. But do you see where a lot of that is?
Let me
Because
just boil this one down for you. How many hot dogs used to come in a package?
Where is it? 10?
10. How
And
many buns came in a
8?
pack?
It used to be 8.
Well, guess what I bought last night?
I know, I've seen it.
I bought a package of 8
Hot
dog
dogs.
buns
Mm-hmm.
and a 6 of hot dog buns. 6. So
Yes.
there were 8 hot doggies instead of 10
Mm-hmm.
and 6 buns instead of 8.
Yeah. Now, I bought one of those packs a couple
What
weeks ago.
is going on here?
Well,
That's how they're sneaking it through at the marketing level because,
saving
it's
money,
just a
huh?
pack of this and it's a pack of that. Well, how many's in the pack? Well, that doesn't matter. It's just it's a pack and it's a pack.
Well, now they sell bread that's half loaves.
Oh, I know they do.
Which
know
I think
why?
is pretty cool. Because I end up, right?
Yeah, because it was going stale on most people.
Yeah. I would true. Well, let me ask you something. Now, this is just off the wall.
Is
We're
it
talking about groceries.
Is it at any price? Is it any cheaper?
Not really. When you figure out what it would be for a full loaf.
No, I mean, is it any cheaper for half loaf? Let's just assume that you threw away half of a loaf.
Yes.
So it is cheap enough.
Yes.
Okay, so you're not wasting it. Then.
Right.
In other words, the birds not getting any food.
Right. No, I'm
So
eating it.
you're depriving the birds
Right.
from a full loaf.
I've had this craving for a month now, and I finally bought some yesterday for just an ice cream sandwich. I love ice cream.
I told you I got them.
Well, look, do you remember in school we used to take an extra nickel or whatever,
You go buy
and
that
during the
sandwich.
day they would take a list who was going to buy ice cream during break, and you would get the ice cream sandwich. I bought a box of ice cream sandwiches, which is a good thing that they're half the size
That's
of
right.
what we used to get in school.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at them, I'm going I can remember the school size ice cream sandwiches were twice this size.
I bought a dozen of those,
Yes.
and I could eat one in 3 bites.
Yes. Yes. Well, I ended up
Seriously.
eating 2.
That's the thing.
That's the thing.
Those
But-
back in the day we go into the ice cream bars. What
Right.
we did, we would run around, and you get the old Cheerios, was it, and the fudge sickles. They had a lot of stuff on them.
Yeah.
Took a while to eat them, and if you didn't do it in a hurry, it was
Yes.
going to melt and run down your hand.
And see, that's one thing I've noticed about groceries now compared to 10 years ago. A lot of these things, like the ice cream sandwich, have gotten smaller.
Yes.
And you don't really notice it that much. Like
No,
a
you
box of cereal that used to be 32 ounces is maybe now 30 ounces.
Aw,
Or a bag of potato chips.
yeah.
You've noticed that. What used to be
Always.
12 ounces is now 10 ounces, but you're paying the same price or more. They're trying to get you. Trying to get you. Hey, you were talking about that boat earlier and what happened there at Alcatraz,
Yeah.
Alcatraz River, what is it? River, Lake, whatever. And
Alcatraz Island, yeah.
yeah, thank you. I meant to bring this up the other day when we were talking about July. Boating tickets issued in North Carolina during the 4th of July weekend. This is really interesting. During the 2026 4th of July holiday weekend, the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission
Go, boys, go.
conducted its annual Operation Dry Water enforcement campaign, which targeted impaired boating and other boating violations. Oh, look at this. All right, according to the reports, 164 officers were deployed statewide over the July 4th weekend. Their activities included contacting 1,340 vessels. That's quite a bit. Issuing 475 boating citations, issuing 722 boating warnings, removing 29 impaired boat operators from the waterway, and investigating 11 boating incidents, several of which were described as serious. That's
That's not a lot, by the way.
that's crazy though.
Doing it for that many officers, though, that many officers were able to do that. That's pretty amazing.
Yes,
But
but the thing about it is 475 boat citations,
Yeah,
boating
that's-
citations.
those can be
700
you don't have the right life jacket. You forgot your throw cushion.
But
You
that's
don't have
my whole
Yeah,
point.
you don't have a fire
You're going out
extinguisher.
there in the water. Why not have your stuff straight?
Because people forgot it. It was just fine last year when I used my boat. Where is it now? I don't know. I don't have time to go look.
Do you check
got
your
all
boat
the-
thoroughly before you put it in the water and go out on? Do you make sure you have all your stuff?
On my big boat?
Yes.
It's all locked away on the boat.
Yes. So
Yeah.
you know it's there. All right. But 722 boating warnings. That's pretty bad. 29
No.
impaired boat operators. Don't drive and
That's-
drink. Don't drink and drive.
And
Don't boat
let me
and
tell you
drink.
about impaired driving on a boat. It's not illegal to drive a boat and drink a beer
Sure. Yeah, I understand.
while you're
that.
driving
Right.
the boat.
Right.
A mixed drink? No, you can't do that. You can't even have that on board your boat unless you have a boat that has facilities like a galley. That's called a kitchen by
See
normal
what?
people. If you've got somewhere like that, you can have alcohol and can serve it below deck. You can serve beer. You can even drink a beer. You can drink a glass of non-fortified wine on deck. You cannot be impaired and do it. If you got a Coast Guard license, you probably don't want to do it at all. You understand?
Right.
Because those are commercial licenses. But if you've got if you're doing that, but if you are visually impaired, if that officer, and they know what you look like, and generally by the way you drive your boats.
Do they make you get out and walk on the water?
Yes, they do. And if you can walk on the water, you're good to go. Go
One foot in
home.
front of the other, right?
But no, there are easy ways, and just having conversations with people, and just after watching them drive, and after watching and asking for the registration and doing whatever. Here's the problem with our BWI law. That's boating while impaired law. There's no teeth in it. What happens if you get a ticket and are convicted for driving while impaired? You lose your license.
Right.
There's no you pay a fine
Right.
for boating while impaired.
Mm-hmm.
There's no license to lose. They can't take away your driver's license.
Well,
Did you know that? See,
no, I'm not a boater.
Yeah,
but,
see, that's
but I
one of
would
the
think.
things that probably
Right.
needs to put some teeth into that law.
Right. What do? Take away their boat, suspend their boating license? I mean,
They
like you
don't have a
said,
boating license.
you need to put some teeth into that
Yeah.
law.
The only way to do it that I can see a way to do it would be to put in there a stipulation at his court proceeding that you will not operate a boat for 1 year.
Yeah,
And if
well,
you get
let's-
caught for it, you go to jail.
Let's talk about North Carolina. Booze It, the Operation Firecracker, Booze It
yeah.
and Lose It campaign over the July 4th weekend. This is roadway.
Yeah.
All right. Driving while impaired, 588 citations.
That's fairly small number,
that's,
actually.
That's for, Equipment violations, 678.
What
But
kind of equipment violations?
could be a headlight out or the light over your license plate out. All right. Registration violations,
A bunch.
1,200.
Yeah.
And we're going to quit with the stickers. Okay. Seatbelt violation, 1,562. Why don't you wear your seatbelt? I mean,
how can you even get away with it in most cars? They just
Yeah.
they get so noisy.
driver's license violations, 1,699.
Uh-huh.
And you know what?
Tell me about the child restraint seats.
July 4th is one of the deadliest holidays for impaired driving.
Yeah.
But 2025 saw 917 DWI arrests. And this past year we had 588. So it's down a little bit from 2025. Well, yeah, quite a bit, but
Tell me about the child restraint seats. Any violations?
Most offenses were speeding or equipment, blah, blah, blah. It did not break it
Okay.
down into,
What is irritating to me is
restraint.
to watch a DWI checkpoint results
yes,
and you find at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, you find people being charged with having children in their car
right,
that are not restrained.
right. And a
I'm
lot
like,
of that.
really?
Yeah, I mean, the one time you go to pick up your child from the babysitter and to go home and you're thinking, oh, hubby's got the car seat or whatever, that's the one time you're going to get caught. And you put that child in the back of the car unrestrained and not in a car seat. That's the one time you're going to get caught.
Generally, the DWI checkpoints are out there on an open
Yes.
highway somewhere. They're not going to be where you're going to pick up your child at a babysitter.
Right. Well,
And also, quite often, there's cases involve a little DWI impairment as well.
time to get moving. Oh, okay.
Okay, get moving.
That's not
Time
my
to go
watch.
home. Who we got tomorrow?
Um,
We got our buddy Chris.
We've got the famous, fabulous, or most favorite
Yeah, my boy.
sports editor.
Yep, and it's getting closer.
Yes, yes.
Game time is right around the
I
corner.
know it. Yes,
And
I've
also,
been-
don't forget, we got to talk a lot about this game coming up this Saturday at 6 p.m.,
Yes,
6 p.m., 6 p.m., 6 p.m.,
Ospreys.
right?
that's right. It
6
starts
p.m.
at 6:30.
Kickoff is at 6:30.
Pitch off. Pitch
I
off.
was wondering if I was going to catch you.
And our congressman is going to be throwing out the first pitch.
And he's got a little Spears behind him.
Yes, and hopefully he's going to wear his congressional baseball shirt. That was pretty cool.
That just turns you on, doesn't it?
I think it's cool. It's got a big 3 on it. Get it? 3rd district.
I got it. I know what it means. Oh,
You know, and we'll talk about the man.
yeah. But
Anyway, yeah,
he's
it's
going to
gonna
be
be a
there.
good game.
That should be fun. And he'll be signing autographs.
Did you hear that, Doctor?
If you ask him for an autograph, he'll
Yes.
probably sign it. If you've got a jersey on, I'm sure he'll sign it.
Well, he'd be going to visit our favorite major, Capers, before
Mhm.
the game. So, you know, and whenever he's in Jacksonville, he always takes that opportunity to
Good.
visit our hometown hero, one of many. But yeah, it would be a good game. It's going to be hot, but once that sun starts to go down, you'll be fine.
If the balls come down by fast enough, it'll create a breeze for you, right?
But you know what? You'll get to see, if you go to the game, the brand new American flag,
Flag.
and North Carolina
Yeah,
flag.
but y'all
that's
better be
up there.
standing up and playing.
It's beautiful. Oh, say, can you see?
They hope they're going to do that.
Yes, yes. So the
All right.
flags are up.
We'll see you guys tomorrow morning
We
at
will.
7 o'clock, and save your questions
Yeah.
until then. If you
Find a
got any,
surprise
please.
guest.
And we do appreciate the calls. And Josh, thank you
Yes.
for calling.
Thank you,
and
Josh.
Steve. And somebody else call? I can't remember now. But anyway, everybody who calls,
Dr. Rose.
we remember who you are. Dr. Rose, always.
Yes.
Always. So, everybody's got questions and everybody's got an opinion. And, I've got mine and I don't even know what they are sometimes and they keep changing.
Oh, no, but let's please take care of Iran so we can quit talking about it.
Well, yeah, but we need
Sick of
we
Iran.
need to take care of America.
Yes,
That's
we
number
do.
one. And how do we take care?
Absolutely.
If somebody would just list up there what I want, take care of America.
Right.
And then how do we do that? 1 and 2 and keep on down. How do we take care of America
Right.
first?
Right. Well, we have to get rid of the bad, evil forces that are trying to come into America.
Anything trying to undermine America
Yes.
or America's ways, we need to fix. Now, if we can't get a coalition together, well, I don't know. We just need to go over there and say, listen, boys, here's what's going to happen.
Right.
And then we need to blow up something out there in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Just while we're sitting there with them, say, okay, boys, hey, watch this. Shoot, boom.
Well, everybody stay cool today. It looks like it's going to be hot for the next 3-4 days. No rain anticipated until probably Sunday as it stands right now. Sunday afternoon, we're looking at some rain possibly, so stay cool.
Do you see the devil in my eyes suddenly popped up? I just had an idea.
What? Doing a rain
If
dance,
this president wants to, tomorrow night,
right?
if he wants to have a demonstration, he should find a place from his war room, wherever
Right.
he's going to be doing this,
I'd like to visit that.
with some buttons in front of him
Uh-huh.
and a very nice area out there somewhere in the desert, cordoned off, of course, surrounded by our people, and have some explosives planted here, 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 and here, and then say, Tehran, are you watching? Boom. And have something massive go off.
No, I think they should just put a camera in the war room and just show him a big old button, showing on screen a big explosion, then just go black.
That would
And
be
everybody's
AI.
wondering, like, where? Who's getting it? All right,
Next.
we're good. All right, stay cool.
All right, we'll
everyone.
see you in the morning. You're live in Local Real Talk, where we're awake, not woke, and we go to sleep. Bye.
Bye.